Hi everyone, this is Koinzell here, and today I have for you guys a update for my very first Diablo 4 video, which was the Whirlwind Berserker. We were talking about how to optimize the Paragon Board to get 7+ glyphs. Now, to be fair, it's only the Whirlwind Berserker that actually has 7 boards. The rest of the characters, due to their build requirements, most of the builds are more or less 5 boards with 5 glyphs. And now we have actually gotten the glyph level scaling is available in the planner. You can see here, right? We have IR at level 20 here. So now that we have the information on the scaling, or rather the max level of the glyphs at level 20, what's attribute value, we can then better plan our board. So that's the update I wanted to do today. Okay. So firstly, scaling of some of the glyphs aren't that high. For example, a level 20 expert has like 7.2% increased damage to vulnerable per 5 stat that is purchased versus say a typical 5% on a typical magic node. So what I'm talking about is something like this, where you see this is like 5% damage, right? Whereas this is 7.2% at level 20. So I gotta say it's lower than expected. I was expecting the glyphs to be able to have double of the magic nodes at level 20. So now that the glyphs at level 20 do not give as much value as I initially thought, it means that some adjustments have to be done. Sorry. And secondly, the scaling of glyphs with bonuses to magic/rare nodes is actually better than expected. It basically goes from 40% to 192% when you go from level 1 to level 20. And I initially expected approximately 100% level 20. So this is a pleasant surprise. And essentially, so this is how it looks like. At level 20, Marshall gives you plus 192% bonus to all magic nodes within reach, i.e. all the blue nodes. So with these two in mind, right, now that we know the information with regards to the glyph levels, what this means is that we should get more of the magic nodes when we are using glyphs like Marshall, basically all of the magic nodes, because even the dexterity, right, with 192% bonus, this is like 20 dexterity. With 2 nodes, it's like 40 dexterity. So it's stats wise, it's actually pretty worthwhile to get these stats. Okay. And it also means that we can afford to get ourselves more rare nodes, right? More rare node clusters. Yeah, stuff like this, getting more of this. Okay, so this is basically what I'm trying to say here. And now my updated Whirlwind Berserker bar, I have 5 bots with 5 glyphs as well, now that we know the glyph levels. Okay, basically everything is 5 bots. Most builds will basically be having 5 bots and glyphs, quite simply put. Okay, now let's look at the updated Paragon board versus the 7 glyphs that I shared earlier, 7 bots. Now we have 5 bots, and this is how it looks like. Okay, so just 5 bots. But what you notice is that we have slightly more rare clusters this time around. Yeah, I mean we're getting this, we're getting this. These are the 3 new rare node clusters that I've gotten. This is the first video. On top of that, there are more magic nodes that we are getting. In fact, we are actually getting every single defense node here, even those without the node bonuses. Because number one, this is along the way to the next board. Secondly, this one is these few nodes here are resistance to elements, which I really like for a barbarian, because barbarian has high armor than resistance, so getting some resistant nodes here is good. And this has bonus and this has bonus, so naturally we get all the magic nodes. So in a way, this build right now, the Paragon board is a lot more well-rounded per se. We have a good balance of defense nodes and more offense. We definitely have more offensive nodes, but we do at least get all the defensive nodes for each glyph. Coupled with the high amount of bonus from level 20, it's looking pretty good. Okay. And also because like so just to share, I actually dropped exploit. And the 2 glyphs that I dropped was exploit and blood drinker. Oh, sorry, not blood trigger, blood feeder. The reason why I dropped blood feeder is very, very simple because this is a whirlwind berserker build, and whirlwind there is the aspect that gives you so much crit rate that you do not really need blood feeder's additional bonus. Although the base bonus of blood feeder is very nice. So with this ridiculously high amount of CR, I would much rather drop the blood feeder when since I have to drop 2, right? So we drop blood feeder and we drop exploit. Because I look at the build itself, I feel the exploit is not very well utilized in this build. Okay. So you see here, especially the first starting board, right? Look at the amount of intelligence I'm getting here. Now, this is because we get 7.2% increased damage while berserking from this board. And my build is focused on getting 100% uptime on berserking. So getting all of this is nice. So we basically get every single intelligence node that's available. Other than that, the traversal of this path is the same. Or rather, I did do an update to this build before today's update. There was an interim update as opposed to the first video. But you'll notice that we do try to get more of the yellow red node rare nodes here. Okay, the rare nodes. Because on the first 2 to 3 bots, you pretty much are able to get the yellow additional bonus on each rare node. So we should definitely try to get this. Yeah. Okay. Now moving on to the next bot is Blood Rich. This is pretty much the same as what we have previously in the first video. Okay, but we did go to get this as well now. Since like I said, we need more red node classes. This the damage scaling on that is not as high. We go for this. And this is fine because I've already got maxed out the intelligence nodes here. So it's fine for me to get more of this. Yeah. Technically speaking, you can even drop something like 5% damage to bleeding enemies, and then you try to get some more dexterity here. But we do not have any like dexterity that's available without spending more nodes to get to it. So that's the reason why I went with that 5% bleeding damage. Okay. Now, technically speaking, you can even be more hardcore and drop this too. You drop 10% bleeding damage. 10% damage to bleeding enemies, and maybe go for the additional 16.44% increased critical strike damage. Totally doable, but I think that it's better to have a lot more different type of multiple multipliers in terms of damage bonuses. So that's what we are doing here. Okay. And we are using the Marshal here, which is why we are getting every single magic node. It's just way too good to give up the 192% bonus. If you look at this, right, this is basically giving us so much stat that is crazy. Okay. It's like a additional 40 willpower and 40 dexterity across the nodes like this. And this is still the same. Yeah, we want our increased berserking duration. There's no change. As we move up, we are having another. In fact, you see me committing to 2-hand weapons here because we want the 192% bonus. That's number one. Number two is also because I've decided to commit to a 2-hand weapon, the bludgeoning weapon for the whirlwind itself. So with that, right? With that in mind, then we can go get ourselves these 2 record node clusters as well, which gives us the elite damage bonus, as well as increased movement speed after killing elites, which is good, as you move from elite pack to elite pack. And we have an increased attack speed here as well. Okay, for a 2-hand weapon, that's really good. And yes, we get all the blue nodes too, because of this bonus, it's just so good. I mean, the 192% bonus to all magic nodes here is the reason why I'm not using territorial. I'm using might instead. Also because we have decided to commit to the weapon. Now you notice that I also dropped the 1-hand weapon board. I forgot what was the name. Let's see. Way to do this easily. Yeah, flawless technique. Yeah, I dropped this as well, since we are not doing 1-hand. Okay. So now you'll notice that I even went to get a new additional legendary node here in this build, because now that we're using two-hand weapon, the value of attack speed is higher. Since we're always critting with that whirlwind aspect, right? So I think it's worthwhile getting this, and also to get us this, which also again gives us more damage from Berserking as well as damage to elites. Okay. And since along the way, okay, since we dropped territorial, I think it's actually good for us to get this nodes here that give us damage reduction from close enemies as well. Yeah, so we may as well just get the defense nodes as well. And then we move on to the next one, which is the Wrath. So again, given the high CR of Whirlwind, this Breath is very, very valuable because we get a lot more critical strike damage. That's number one. Number two, the additional bonus gives us 3 Fury. So that helps a lot in this build. So yep, you see here, we have the complete setup and the updated board for the Whirlwind Berserker. Now, even for the Whirlwind Berserker, we are going to the 5 boards state. Now that we know how the leveling, the levels of the glyph look like at level 20, the values of the glyph at level 20, then we can make a better, more informed decision on how best to optimize the bots. And yep, this so you have it here. This is the update I have for you guys. I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, this works out very nicely as well. I mean, even if we drop 2 glyphs and 2 bots, right? It's worthwhile if you look at the overall value. Okay. Right, so thanks everyone for watching. Oh yes, for the rest of the builds that I've shared previously, right, other than the very first video, the very first Diablo 4 video, the rest of the builds such as which is basically the Necro builds, right, I will also update them according to the now that we know the information about the level 20 glyphs, how they look like. I'll update them, I'll do a bit of optimization. In fact, I actually finished for the Necro builds other than the Shadow Necro, which I have not done a video for anyway. But for the Necro builds, I'll probably do one complete video just to talk about all the updates for the Necro builds. Yeah. It's a bit of minor tweaking here and there, like we are dropping some magic nodes just to get a main stat node in a level 20 glyph radius, which gives us more than what that magic node gives. Stuff like that. Okay, so anyway, thanks everyone for watching. If you like the content, remember my video and click subscribe for more. Bye.